I've been to Bali a few times, and every time I go, I get some fantastic inspiration for recipes. This is my Balinese-inspired whole fish recipe, and the flavours in this are pretty incredible. As you can see, there's a lot of ingredients going into it. I've got a pan on here, and I'm just going to add, I'll measure this out, 1/3 of a cup of coconut oil. Now, the coconut oil is not only for frying some of my ingredients here, but it's also going to give it a nice flavour. So into that, I'm going to add about 5 or 6 shallots that I've just sliced, and we want to get a little bit of colour on these because colour means flavour. 4 or 5 garlic cloves here, and I'm just going to slice them. It doesn't have to be so perfect because what's going to happen is I'm going to divide this mixture into half. Half of this sambal is going to act as the stuffing for the fish. The other half of the sambal is going to be a delicious side sauce to go with it, and I'm going to be using coconut milk to finish it off. 10 curry leaves. Not really traditional when it comes to Balinese cooking, but I do love the flavour in here. And some kaffir lime leaf. I've just got 3 here, and I'm going to chiffonade them. So that's just the style of cut. I'm not going to finely chiffonade, I'm just going to roughly do it because, again, this is just for the flavouring of the marinade and the sauce. So in with that, and we need a bit of chilli. So I've got 3 long chilies here that I've just taken the seeds out of, and I've just finely chopped. A few more ingredients in this. 2 big stalks of lemongrass. I'm going to take the woody top off, and I'll just trim the base. And just with a heavy pestle here, I'm going to bruise the lemongrass. I'm not going to finely chop this. What I'm going to do is just crush it up, and that can go in whole. Now for something a little bit smelly, fish paste. It does have a very pungent smell to it, but I think it's essential for this. The smell that you smell now is not what you get in the end result, just like anchovies. So you only need about a teaspoon of it. Okay, last ingredient, ginger, good hit of ginger, and I'm going to just slice that and add that straight to our pan. Now I'm going to take half of this mixture out. I'll just turn off the heat for a moment because we don't want any of that to burn. And we'll just leave it to the side just to cool a little bit. I don't want to be adding this to the fish when it's still really hot. So just spread it out, just like I'm doing here, and let that cool to room temperature. It won't take long at all. And in here, we can pretty much finish the sauce. So now I'll add some coconut milk. We want about 400 millilitres of coconut milk here. So a little bit more of this can. Perfect. Now I'm going to turn the heat back on, and we're just going to allow this to bubble away until it thickens. So it won't take long, it'll take 5 to 10 minutes. While that's happening, let's have a look at the fish. This gorgeous snapper is around 450 to 500 grams, so this is the perfect amount. Now I'm just going to trim the tail with some kitchen scissors, and also the little wings here. Just going to tidy it up. I'll do it also on the other side. Now that my stuffing is cooled down to room temperature, we can stuff the fish. So just in the cavity there, place the big piece of lemongrass and just bend it a little bit, along with all of this yummy stuffing. Squeeze it in there, and if you've got any left over, I'm just going to place that back into our coconut milk sauce here because we don't want to waste any of those flavours. To ensure that all of this stuffing stays in the cavity, I've got 2 skewers, and I'll place one through one side of the fish straight through to the other, and then I'll use another one just to fasten underneath those little wings, and there you go, and that is perfect. You'll see that nothing falls out there. Now I've got a pan over here, a really large pan, and I'm just going to turn the heat on. And I want this to get really, really hot. So once it's smoking, I'm just going to drizzle a little oil on the fish and just grill it for 1 to 2 minutes on each side until it's golden brown. And then it goes into the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes at 180 degrees. the snapper is cooked, a great indication is first of all the eye. If it's gone all white, it's cooked. And also just with a little sharp knife, just go through the thickest part, which is just behind the head here, and all the way through the bone. Just hold it there for a moment. And if it feels really hot, then you know that it's cooked. So that is absolutely perfect. I'm going to take out the toothpicks very carefully, and that's ready to be placed on the platter. Now, before I do this, I just want to get some garnish organised. So a little bit of spring onions that I'll just slice on an angle. Wonderful. Also, a little bit more chilli, again on an angle, and we'll finally slice it. Now, to finish the sauce, I'm going to place it back on the heat. You can see that I've strained this. Now we just need to correct the seasoning here. So for some saltiness, just a tablespoon of fish sauce because we already have the shrimp paste in there. Also a little bit of sugar and even amounts of that to fish sauce, along with 1 whole lime. So a good squeeze into that coconut sauce. Okay, to serve that, I'm going to place that in a large bowl. I'll just pour that in, and you want to serve this on the side. You can see how thick it is. Yum. And our fish, the pièce de résistance, we'll place it on a large platter. And just to decorate it, coconut. So I've just got some coconut flakes here that I've toasted, and the garnish that I just chopped up, the spring onions, and the chilli can go in the middle too. This is fantastic, entertaining food. That sauce goes really well with it. And that's my interpretation of a Balinese style snapper.